Ciao everyone, and welcome to a new video. Today I'd like to share with you my trip to Scotland, a magical country that I had the pleasure to visit some weeks ago. Since I've seen so many amazing things and places there, I will not linger too much. Otherwise, I would need 2 days of narration. But I hope that the videos will speak in my place. So let's start. The first day, we visited the capital of Scotland since 1482. The most breathtaking thing here is the castle that overlooks the city. It stands on Castle Rock, and even if it was involved in many historical conflicts, it's still a real beauty. Of course, the thing that impressed me the most about this castle is the Stone of Destiny, because obviously this is so cool and mysterious. We couldn't take photo of it, but this stone is basically a rock used for centuries to inaugurate the kings. I'm attaching here a photo found on the internet. While you enjoy an overview of the castle, I'll give you just some quick info about the trip. It's July 2022. The temperature was around 20-22 degrees, and we were lucky because it has been sunny almost every day. I recommend anyway a rain jacket in your backpack because the weather is unpredictable. Also, you will see that this was a package tour. I think it was the best choice since we couldn't rent a car because of the different way of driving. Plus, we had the chance to visit many places with the comfort of not organizing anything and just go with the flow. So it was very relaxing. Now, let's go through one of the narrow paths that are all around Edinburgh, called Closes, and take a look at the city. This is the beautiful Victoria Hall, and if you like fish and chips, you can find a great fish and chips truck in front of it. Or that's what our guide Derek told us. And here you can see the street that inspired Diagon Alley to J.K. Rowling. Scotland has real Harry Potter vibes everywhere. Also, the castle reminds me a lot of Hogwarts. And yes, just because I like this video, this is my boyfriend who got killed at this vintage shop. Killed are so expensive because for Scottish are an important piece of clothing that could net them to their ancestors. And I hope it's not offensive if I say I find kilt very sexy. If it is, I'm sorry. By the way, all the historic parts of Edinburgh have been declared UNESCO heritage, and it's not difficult to believe. What is more fascinating is the ways the city can quickly shift from modern to old, and from chaos to peace, and also from dark to light. I can totally say that this is one of the most amazing things about Edinburgh for me. But I know that you want to hear about ghosts and ghost stories. So let's take another quick look at the beautiful decoration of the the St. Giles Cathedral. And then let's go visiting Scotland deeper and deeper, saying goodbye to Edinburgh and setting off for one of the most haunted castles in Europe. I'm talking about the Castle of Glamis. A part of this castle is still the official house for the Earls Strathmore and Kinghorn, and it was the residence of Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, mother of the Queen Elizabeth II. Behind the walls of these castles, you can hear two ghosts condemned to play card for the eternity. The devil did that to them since the two men dared to play card during Sunday, which is a holiday. Or you can visit the chapel where the Grey Lady sits. She is believed to be Lady Janet Douglas, born as a witch in 1537. For some reasons, visitors of the castle always sit on other chairs, even if they haven't heard the story yet. Our guide told us that the only two women that sit on that chair were named Janet. I know it sounds creepy, but when I entered the dining room, I heard some voices, like people moaning, and I thought they put some speakers with ghost sounds for the visitor, so to entertain them or something. So I told my boyfriend, like, oh my god, can you hear that? Thinking it was funny, but then he shook his head laughing, thinking that I was joking. So I asked other people from our group and they thought I was joking too. Well, I wasn't, and I still cannot explain it. So if you have similar story, please let me know. Okay, let's continue our trip and visit a less haunted but yet terrific castle. It was 100% my favorite because I've never seen something so powerful but cool at the same time. The castle of Dunnottar is located on a peninsula overlooking the North Sea on the east coast, and it's connected to the mainland only thanks to a narrow bridge of land. Of course, this castle benefits of a real defensive power, and it was very difficult to conquer it. It is also quite difficult to reach, since you have to go down and up for a little while. But then you will find not only a castle, but a little city with a church, houses, wells and barns. Almost everything is in decay, but that's part of the charm of this place. The surviving buildings can be of the 15th or the 16th centuries, but the site is believed to have been fortified in the early Middle Ages. While I was here, I couldn't help but sit and touch the grass sliced by the wind, contemplating the amazing view of the cold North Sea. And it was almost like everything came to life, and people from Middle Ages were all around me, working and living. I think you know that you are somewhere magic when you have this feeling, I guess. And the sea all around us was created atmosphere. It's really a magic place, I promise you. So visit it. The next stop is in Aberdeen, and in particular this neighborhood very near to the beach that I think is very, very unique and fascinating. It's like an hippie area with tiny houses and a lot of flowers and positive vibes in general. It's very artistic and colorful. And after we are visiting Elgin, and in particular the Glenmorangie distillery, where they explain to us how whiskey is made. I must admit that I didn't understand much, sorry, except the fact that whiskey is made from fermented grain mash, and in this particular case barley. After all the process, whiskey is put into casks for years, and in our tour they let us taste 3 different whiskey aged in different years. The problem is that it was like 11 a.m. so our stomachs were empty and we were all drunk. I wasn't a big fan of whiskey before, but I must say that I started to enjoy it a little more. I don't know if you ever tried it, but it tastes a lot of wood, since it stays so much time in the barrels. But also every whiskey tastes different, so I guess you just have to try them all and figure your favorite. In Elgin, you can also visit the Cathedral, which is one of the most beautiful medieval cathedrals in Scotland. In the past, it was called the Lighthouse of the North because it could be seen from far away thanks to its sights. It gave me the same vibes as the Dunnottar Castle, since it is mighty but also decaying. It was dedicated to the Holy Trinity and was established in 1224. It was damaged by several fires and attacks throughout the years, but in 1824 John Shanks, an Elgin shoemaker, cleared the grounds and helped to bring the cathedral back into public focus. Then we slept in a lovely hotel in Inverness, which is a lovely city with a lovely river. Also, if you need to buy souvenirs, here they were cheaper than the other cities. And guess where we will go now? I'll give you some clues. It's the most visited place in Scotland. It has a monster in it, and it's made of water. So, welcome to Loch Ness. Loch Ness, or Loch Ness. It is the second largest Scottish lake, but since it's very, very deep, it is the largest lake by volume in the British Isles. It was really fun to visit the visitor center and exhibition, where they showed us the first picture ever taken of Nessie in 1933 and explained scientifically some theories about its existence. Actually, they insisted so much that the monster wasn't real that I started to think they were trying to hide something, so I'm not saying that I believe in some strange dinosaur living in a lake, but also I'm not saying I don't believe in it. Whatever your opinion is, Loch Ness is worth a visit. Then let's stop at another magical place. You may know it because of the James Bond movie The World Is Not Enough, where it is the Scottish headquarters. I am talking about the alien Donan Castle, located on a little island that can be reached by a footbridge. The island is in the middle of the intersection of 3 marine lakes that all together form Loch Duik. It is surrounded by mountains, and again it gives you that creepy but romantic Scottish vibe. The original castle was built in the 13th century and was a stronghold of the Clan Mackenzie and their allies, the Clan MacRae. But when the Mackenzies was involved in the Jacobite rebellion in the 18th century, the government destroyed the castle. Alien Donan means Island of Donan, and Donan of Aik is a Celtic saint who was martyred. And here we are on the famous Isle of Skye. If heaven exists, it could definitely look like this. Skye is the second largest island in Scotland and so green and wild and splendid that I felt so small and insignificant in front of it, and I mean it in a good way. I was literally surrounded by the power of nature, like it was hugging me and also reminding me that we are just guests in this world. It was a very touching experience visiting this island. And the magic was multiplied thanks to the trekking that we did towards the Old Man of Storr, which is this rocky hill that can be reached by an hour walk uphill. It was quite challenging for me because I'm not used to mountain trekking, but it was worth it. The view is amazing from the top, and I felt like Frodo and Sam from the Lord of the Rings. People also believe that this part of the island was once populated by the giants. In fact, legends say that the Old Man of Storr is a tomb of a giant that was buried there. Let's say that the most difficult part of the trekking was coming down the path. Oh, this is a cute snail that I had the pleasure to meet there. Yeah, the most difficult part of the trekking was coming down the path because it started raining and the ground became very muddy. So I got drenched even if I had a rain jacket with me, and I also broke my shoes, but still it was worth it. And last but not least, I also boarded the Hogwarts Express. For real. At least it felt it was real for me, and I'm sorry, but I will never be able to transmit to you the feelings that I have experienced, and I hope you can feel them a little bit because it was crazy. you can board the Jacobi train at the Mallaig station and go living a dream. We also passed, as you can see, on the bridge from the Chamber of Secrets, which is actually a viaduct built between 1897 and 1901, and we were also emotional, and the atmosphere on the train was very warm and magical. Everybody was excited, even like older people, because of their children, so it was amazing. And here you can also see the little island where Dumbledore was buried in the movies. We completed our journey visiting the beautiful Stirling Castle, which overlooks the valley on a cliff 750 meters tall. This position made the castle basically invincible. It has been built on different levels and expanded during the centuries. And James V also kept a lion here because apparently he thought it was cool. And our audio tour also said that he wanted to have the lion push his newborn son's stroller in one occasion, but someone stopped him because the thing could have been scary for the women. Strangely, nobody thought it could be dangerous for the baby. Crazy time, I guess. And some researches revealed that King Arthur's round table may have been hidden somewhere in the castle. I don't know if it's true, of course. I didn't find it. But speaking of great historic protagonists, Stirling Castle is known mostly as the place where Mel Gibson fought in Braveheart. And actually the battle was made by Sir William Willis, and you can see his memorial rising in front of you and in front of the castle as well. Sir William Willis was a Scottish knight who became a Scottish hero after defeating the English army at the Battle of Stirling Bridge in September 1297. Even if the Scottish were outnumbered, Willis had the idea to force the English army on the narrow bridge that crossed the north side of the river. It was so narrow that very little men could cross it together, and that allowed the Scottish to kill them quite easily. Sadly, Willis was captured by the English in 1305, and let's say he ended up very badly. I guess the details would be too much for an ASMR video, but you can check the story if you feel to. But it's quite violent. Anyway, the William Willis National Monument is very mighty and overlooks the valley. After climbing several little steps, we managed to get on the top of the building, and we admired Stirling and, let's be honest, the beauty the world can offer. And that's the end of this story, but I hope I will have more and more in the future, because traveling is such a good experience for our souls and minds. I also hope that I have relaxed you and entertained you, and I hope I did justice to this incredible country and to its kind people. So thank you for watching,